Here are some amazing, amazing rhododendron. Pale pink. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Very, very nice. Pale pink. Beautiful. It's real paradise. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful paradise. Salmon colored. Amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And all kinds of different pinks. So, okay, I'm gonna... Okay. Sun is shining bright. So, I also want to add, in my rhododendron garden here, I want to add to these observations that I've talked about this before in a video a while back. I had an amazing experience in a room by a US artist. He created a room that is total sensory depriving. And we could go in there and just sit on a bench in there. And my friend and I, we went in there, and it was an exhibit in Germany. And so we went into this room. The moment she closed that door, just the moment she closed that door and we sat down, it just took a few seconds for me, for my brain, to come up with the wildest things suddenly, the wildest hallucinations. It was very, very, very crazy. And I thought that these hallucinations were part of this art project. I thought it was that was a designed movie or something, or designed virtual reality type of thing that was running down there on the floor. There was a living being running on the floor, past us, past our legs. And I just, for some reason, I was so frightened. And that's what I mean when the brain, when there's pain, like in a nightmare, and the brain gives it some kind of shape, brings up something. Sometimes it can bring up something that isn't that frightening, but feels frightening, like in the dream, or in this hallucination, So it was so incredibly frightening that I screamed and tapped my way out that door again and got out of there. And I was still screaming while I was among all these other people out there. And they were looking at me like, what's going on? What's in that room? There's nothing in that room. It was my brain creating something because there was no more outside stimulus. Okay, it was completely pitch black in there. There was no sound. Even one's own sound would get muffled. And it's just there to sit there in meditation. But that would not be possible for me because my brain cannot handle a room that shuts off any kind of outside stimulus. When I'm standing here in the garden, there are sounds, lots of sounds, lots of smells, lots of stuff going on constantly. Insects flying by and humming, and all the flowers and all this, the beauty of everything. I hear my own breath, and I feel things, and when those sensory stimuli are not coming into the brain, into any of the brain regions, the brain stem, the limbic system, and the neocortex is processing any of these stimuli. When that doesn't come in, then the brain feels completely lost almost. It feels like the brain needs to create something. That's very strange, So just wanted to add this because it shows us how dependent we actually are on an alive, wholesome environment. That's why you can't put a bird in a cage. It is torture to put a bird in a cage, because every bird needs to fly, have exercise, and be in a forest. I know this. I have observed this in person. We had friends. Connie, she had a cockatoo, and she took him everywhere she went because she knew he needed that. So the wings, I think, were trimmed so he couldn't fly off. He would have loved to go fly off into a tree and stuff like that. That in itself is already very awful, to trim a bird's feathers so that they can't fly. But at least she took him hiking, He was sitting on her shoulder, and when we got into the forest, he got so excited. It touched me to tears. He got so excited to be in that forest. It was like heaven for him. He flapped his wings up and down, perched on her shoulder, and he constantly said, "Lucy," that was his name. "Lucy, Lucy, Lucy." And I forgot now what he said, something particular. I forgot what it was. Something like, "Lucy likes it," or something. They actually talk in context. They're very intelligent. They have rapid eye movement sleep, that's an indication for very abstract, very, very highly sentient brain processing. So he saw all the trees. He got so excited. He heard the other birds sing, and this stimulation, this abundance, this wholesomeness. That is what he needs. That is what they all need, all birds and all animals. Particularly wild animals need that more than anyone else. And also our pet animals, domestic animals, they are often in artificial environments. They also need it. They need to go hiking in nature, into forests, to feel happy, to feel safe, to feel like they are part of this flow, not be sensory deprived. So this is very, very, very important that I add this. Okay, you guys say bye.